Good day, One Nation Tribal Alliance, friends and family, brothers and sisters, near and far. Today, I am here to again announce the classes that I have been teaching. I'm starting back up, but this time, these classes are not going to be live. These classes are going to be on video. So, with this video, uh, we'll give you the opportunity to watch it when you get a chance and not have to make it to class or anything. You can watch it on your own time. And I will leave you my information with these videos to where if you have any questions at any time, you can get a hold of me with the information that I provide for you to get a hold of me on. So, with this said, again, my teachings about what I am sharing the knowledge in. The main theme of this class is the teachings of Ascension and hidden knowledge revealed. And this class really is a three-part class. And the first part is had 13 lessons, and that is changing your consciousness. And in this first class, I talk about the 13 lessons that I want to share with you are everything vibrates. One. Two, in vibration, consciousness tunes reality. Three, emotion shapes matter. And four, inner balance creates outer balance. Five, channels of vibration force. And six, source as a architecture of creation. And seven, flower of life, the vibrational code of creation. And we'll break that down a little more, which is sacred geometry. And eight, the inner fire that transmute densities. Seven, polarity as a path to ascension. And 10, time as a vibrational field. 11, earth is a living vibrates. And 12, pure intentions as the frequency of manifestation. And 13, the last one, is silence is a supreme channel of vibration. That's on the first class, which is changing your vibrations. Now, the reason why I started out with this is because I came up with a term that really matches what my whole intentions of teaching this whole thing is. And with this first class, I'm hoping that we can all understand the definition of contemplative alignment because at the end of this first class, starting into the second class, I will share some knowledge about contemplative practices as we go to the next class, which is going to be raising your vibration. Raising your vibration is really uh, about, I use the seven main chakras, I use the medicine wheel, and I also use the seven native prayer conscious level and the seven conscious level. So with these seven or four tools that I use, it's just going to be about the seven layers of raising your vibration. So with this raising your vibration, it's all about you. And again, contemplative alignment. After taking the first class, I hope you'll look at that definition and say, this is how I put it together. Contemplative alignment uh, is the practice of bringing your thoughts, emotions, intention, values, and actions into harmony through reflections, meditation, silence, and other contemplative practices. So, with this first class that I share with you, with the 13 lessons, you hopefully we can all learn to harmonize our, you know, emotions and everything that is shared with you on changing your consciousness. Then it goes into raising your vibration. In this raising your vibration, like I said, I use the four tools, and the four tools that I'll be using is all in parallel with various cultures that I have studied with and shared knowledge with. Then it goes into the third class, which is the seven conscious level. And in the seven conscious level, I am going to share the knowledge of the earthly consciousness, going into the portal, and going into the esoteric consciousness, and introduce the galactic conscious level. And those that want to go further on into the galactic, that's going to be a different class because that takes more dedication, more commitment, and more discipline. And it just doesn't happen overnight. So, with this earthly consciousness, I will talk more about your mind, body, and soul, which is Trinity. And again, using the four layers or four tools that I share with, I will go in detail about the earthly consciousness. Then, how transformation happens on the fourth conscious level. When transformation happens, you will be a different person. You will understand more about yourself, not only physically, spiritually, mentally, but also consciously. Now, after that, it goes into the esoteric consciousness. This is where things starts happening beyond how you can explain in words. I mean, I I've seen angels, beautiful when I saw them, but when I want to explain, it's hard to explain because when I saw them, the first thing I said to the person that was showing me the angels was that I thought angels had halos and wings. And they said, only when they go down there. But here, they're lights, they're energy, but they're beautiful. So these are the things, but I cannot describe what they look like when I saw them. All I know that my heart, my body, and my soul responded saying how beautiful they are. So when you go into the esoteric conscious level, you will learn about things that are happening, remote viewing. Some people can understand more about psychic surgery, about, you know, telepathic communications with not our relations, trees, plants, bugs, animals, how you can connect. Then it goes into the introduction of, like I said, the higher conscious level. In the esoteric realm, we talk about, you know, finding your miracle tone. What does that have to do with it? Well, your voice creates vibrational noise, and when you create sound, you want to be able to understand what is your miracle tone. I'll tell you what that is. And in your vision, understand, how to observe, how to be in a thought. Because when you say, I'm seeing things, it's still not in a higher realm. Because when you see stuff, your mind picks it up. Your mind will automatically start analyzing what you're looking at. Well, your heart already knows. Your heart knows what your mind analyzes. So that's why change your way of your vision, what you're looking at. You got to observe. You got to be in your thought, you know, and these things are very important as you go along. And then it goes into the crown chakra, going into the, galactic consciousness, which is the introduction into the ultimate conscious level, the Buddhahood, the light. And why is this important? Because these steps that I'm sharing with you, starting from the beginning, is baby steps, going up to from earthly into the esoteric into galactic. And some of the things that I share with you, is that a lot of people ask me, well, what's the difference between a spiritual, esoteric consciousness and the ultimate consciousness? Well, the only way I could explain is that if your spirit controls the body into things in the esoteric realm, you go higher. What controls the spirit is your consciousness. And I'm going to give you a little analogy behind that. Hollywood already knows about this. They throw it out at us because if you ever watched the movie Ghosts, Patrick Swayze was a ghost trying to learn his way around in the spiritual realm, in the next dimension after being killed. And he ran across this elderly man that when he got mad, he would use his energy and kick that can. And as a spirit, he would move that can. That goes, and Patrick Swayze saw that happen. He said, I want to never do that. So he's trying, but couldn't do it. And so he asked the man that can do it. He said, how do you do it? He said, your spirit has got to be fired up with your consciousness. Then you can do it. This is where you can control the physical. You can use your energy to move the paper. You can move your energy, knock down a book, push whatever. Don't have to touch it. And this is a class that I want to teach. And I know a lot of people says, well, I know this. That's fine. But you understand. What you know, you know. I'm glad. And the reason why I go baby step by step on these things is because it will take a lot of commitment, dedication, and studying on your part. I give you the tools and teach you how to use them. It's up to you to keep up practice and keep it going because, this right now, we need to step up. And I invite everyone that are awakened to try to understand what I'm trying to teach because, as we always say, this is the first step to being a rainbow warrior because you got to know who you are first. Not only the physical, not only the spiritual, but also consciously. And when you can do that, you can really, really understand what it means to be in a higher conscious when psychic surgery happens, and healing starts happening, or you can, see a lot of stuff. When you see the wind, see the raindrops, you know, each raindrop is different. And when you see them, they're all going to be different raindrops. Or you can connect. When your light can connect to the tree, to the flower, to the bugs, to the animals out there. It's a different feeling. And once you can do that, again, practice will even make it normal to where you will live the everyday life of being a rainbow warrior, keeping your vibration up and keeping yourself strong. So there is an energy exchange now. So if you are really interested in all three classes, because I'm going to start teaching it as all three, not just one at a time, get a hold of me and I'll tell you, you know, the energy exchange. Again, the first one has 13 lessons, and the second two have 7 lessons each, and both of them have a lot of contemplative alignment practices that I will share with you where you can really start experiencing it. I thank you for your time. And to get a hold of me, yawakia@yahoo.com, or, you know, you can go onto the website and get a hold of us. Thank you. I love you, and you all have a wonderful weekend.